Wait. What do we do? Okay.
We
Wait.
going to clap our hands.
I don't know
We
which one
gonna
is.
clap our-
Okay. We're just going to hope this is the one. Go ahead. I feel like I did this years ago. I feel like I was a different person when I last did this.
That's okay. That's okay. You're going to slip right back into it.
We're going to try to. Okay.
Who are we today? I am pleased.
And I am. Thank you.
And we are at joy.
Where life plus joy equals satisfaction.
And we are in our season of kindness and courtesy. Kindness and courtesy is thinking and behaving in a friendly, respectful manner that conveys compassion and avoids causing hurt or inconvenience to yourself or others.
Yes. So instead of random acts of kindness and courtesy, we are going to talk about random acts of discourtesy that we see
Let's get into it.
out in these streets.
Let's get into it. Like being at the bar and they actually use that little measuring thing to pour your shot. I think that's discourteous. That's so rude. It's so controlling. You know what I'm saying?
They're going to get fired if they don't.
Come on, man. They already watered down the bottles. Why not give me pour a little extra in? It's the holidays. No. That's how they look when I say it. Oh, were you there?
Yeah.
Were you there? But I'd be like, pour a little more in. They'd be like, that's not a random act of discourteous. Okay, well then let's talk about some real random acts of discourteous. I think that's discourteous.
Well, this is always so ridiculous to me. I don't know why we do this as people. I put this on the socials and my boy responded, "This me. I ain't never letting them over." And I'm like, why?
That's why there's so much traffic in Atlanta.
Refusing to let someone over in traffic. What does this do for y'all when you won't let somebody
You're 2
over?
inches behind where you would have been. And
2
that
inches.
is outrageous.
And
I
here's
will not be 2 inches.
there are
Don't
so
lose
many
those inches.
There are so many decisions that are being made in your total ride that are affecting when you get there. This one
That one little Honda Accord.
probably isn't the one that's going to hold you back from getting there quicker.
In fact, when you're mad, it's because you're late already.
This is true.
So it's you. It's
And
you
that
laying
was
in the
your
bed too
fault.
long.
That's
right.
not them.
That's not you.
Right.
That's not you.
So why be discourteous to someone else because
want it.
you didn't wake up on time? That's true.
So many times and I think this is a lot, this is funny, but it's a larger issue too. I think that's a good example of sometimes we are discourteous because we think we don't want somebody to get over on us.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's that whole kindness is weakness thing.
Yep.
And, if somebody cuts me off in traffic, somehow that emasculates me or it minimizes my power, whatever it is, right? No, it just lets them come right here on the street. That's it.
Well, because also eventually somebody has to let you over.
Yep.
What if they don't let you? What if they have
Everyone
the same
lets-
thinking
Yep.
you have?
Yep.
Someone's got to let someone in, or we're just at we are literally in Atlanta
Or we're
at a
just-
standstill.
An
always.
uncivilized traffic
At all
society.
times. 3 a.m, traffic on 285. Why? Because somebody wouldn't let somebody else in.
And we're both now on the side of the road with crashed up cars.
We screaming,
Which is
we
crazy.
yelling at each other. We're doing all kind.
Yeah. Or just let them come in.
Let somebody in.
There's that part.
Yeah.
Oh, this is tricky. I've literally had to snap. I've been so trying to be courteous that I've had to stop the waitress and be like, "Give me that back." Eating the last of shared food without asking if anybody wants it. But then you get into that no, it's you. No, you go ahead. No, go ahead. And then the wait staff comes and you're like, wait, don't take it. We both do want it. We're just trying to be courteous.
You gave a really kind example. I don't. Yeah, you offer me the last piece. I'm taking it.
Oh.
Oh,
no,
I'm
I
not.
usually be like, "Oh, did you?
We ain't
Are
arguing
you
back.
okay? Did you go?
You sure?
Are you sure?
I'm
Are you
already
sure?"
cutting it. You sure?
That's
You-
me.
you
but
sure?
I'm cutting in half something so small it's like one bean, and I'm like, here's half of this bean so that you
If
can.
that joker is good. Oh
I'm
yeah, no, I'm going to take that, and I'm going to savor it and appreciate it in your name, huh?
Come on,
Thank you.
double
friend.
up on the principles.
Huh?
Double up,
Huh?
double up.
Okay. Okay. This was meant for us. Being consistently late or too loud in public. I'm taking that too loud one. I got that too
Baby,
loud
I'm
one.
gonna get there. I don't know. You know, I'm gonna try my best. You should lie to me about the time. Just
Now, I have gotten better over the years about time. I try really, really hard after I had a talking to from someone years ago. But I did. I heard what he said to me. He said, time is the only thing you cannot get back, and it dishonors people when you waste their time. Okay. Okay.
And I'm going to just derail and shout out, honestly, because I think there is something courteous and kind about being able to hear wisdom when somebody is presenting it to you, and it's not in the most courteous fashion. So that was my face, because I'm not sure that information was presented to you in a fashion that I would have preferred.
He was mean when he said it.
So I, as your friend, I
He's
was like,
watching this and he knows it's who I'm talking
I mean, you're lucky she's there. So
it
you know
was
what
a
I'm saying?
different time.
It was a different time, but
he
he's
was
right.
a different person.
Yeah.
But what
And
he
that
said was true.
It's true that there is
What he
wisdom
said
in
was
that.
true.
And my current coach, High Coach K, has been working with me on time management and really figuring that out, because it's not just about me. It is about being kind and respecting other people's time.
Well, it's kind
And
to
trying to figure
yourself too. I mean, I talked with you about this. Like you put
I'm
yourself
always in high
a
pressure.
state.
I'm always stressed.
You're always stressed.
Right.
If you know you're the late one and everyone's waiting on you, it's best to just show up on time
Yep.
for yourself.
Just get in
even
front
if
of it.
before you start thinking
Yeah.
of other people. But I'm gonna be too loud. Listen, I don't. Sorry, and I'm not doing it. I never ever mean anything bad by it. I don't think I hear what other.
Yes, I don't think you can hear it. No,
I don't think I
because
hear
it could be just me and you in the car, and I'd be like, "What is he screaming?" You're not trying to be. It's not like I'm in public. I want everybody to hear what
I
I'm
also
saying.
have very bad hearing.
Yeah.
Years and years of listening to music. I have very, very bad hearing. So right now I could be yelling. I don't know.
You don't need a mic. Your mic's not even on. It's not even on. I'm just like,
It is what it is.
that's just the sound.
I just
just the
apologize
sound.
in advance.
Okay, now this might be one of the most frequently and most egregious kind of the discourteous things that we see out here on the streets. Just minding business that doesn't pay you. Just all outside of your lane. Just got commentary about something that's just like, I'm trying to figure out what it has to do with you. Where's your part in this?
I was at
why?
I was at a photo shoot yesterday, and one of the sisters that was being photographed was talking in the beginning about how she was raised to mind her business. Her mama's pet peeve is people being in other people's business. So she kind of raised her. She was like, you don't stare at people. You don't ask people to give you information about, let people volunteer. So she's very, very big on this. And what she was saying is, in some places it has not served her, because then she doesn't get some information that she from friends and things like that. She's always waiting on them to tell her. So there are some things that, you really do have to figure it out. But if you are getting on the microphone, literally, and talking about a whole gender, that's not your business.
You married and got all this stuff to say about single people.
It's not your business.
Where's your spouse?
You're not single. Why
don't you and your
why do you
spouse
have
go
anything
and
to say about
spouse
this?
it up somewhere?
Did a single person ask you specifically for
I like the double entendre. Did a single person? Did a single person?
Did a single person ask you for your thoughts on it? No. All right. Go on ahead and see yourself out.
It's and here's why it's discourteous. One, you're making assumptions about that person. I mean, that's really good to bring up that singlehood too. Like, I'm gonna set you up with so-and-so. Who said I was looking? Who said that's what I like? who said I wanted you to? And you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, there's so many assumptions in there when you kind of get in people's
the biggest
business.
assumption is who here valued your opinion? Who needed what you brought? Like, that's the biggest assumption of all.
Huge.
You needed to talk about my outfit.
I have a level of expertise about just what, people should do about such and such.
Funny, I didn't ask.
You almost always run the risk of being unkind when you do that because you are rarely doing the kind, people just, let's be honest, people are rarely doing the kind of research and finding out the level of information necessary to like speak on it. You're just using your anecdotal N of one, you know what I'm saying, information and just kind of sputtering it. And it's unkind. It's not courteous to do that. It usually insults.
So maybe, What you do is ask people before you start getting into business and listen to them when they say, yeah, I don't need you to, okay. All right.
Engage the conversation around it rather than kind of just jumping in. Let me just offer you what I have. How do you even know what's happening here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Minding the business that does not pay you is discourteous. Right. So let's dive into our topic. What we found is kind of what we were talking about this when we were first kind of developing this concept, right? That in recent years we found that common and courtesy just ain't as common anymore. Just like basic, like manners, just interpersonal etiquette, courtesy 101.
Yeah. So we're going to give you some tips and tools to increase your courtesy and add joy unto your life.
Yes. So first, why does courtesy matter? Because some people might be like, what? I'm fine being discourteous. I don't care. You can just hear people already getting there. But you can hear it. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like somebody's saying it right now and it's like, oh, you're not going to be, right? Like why should I put forth the effort to avoid inconveniencing other people and being kind? Why should I do that?
Being courteous results in positive interactions with others. If you're a person that is constantly having beef with others, there's probably a lack of courtesy happening here, people. And it feels better when you don't have all this conflict in your life. If you find yourself always in the midst of conflict, we're going to go on ahead and say maybe you got some
You might be the common denominator. If it's always you, somebody's getting into them. It's always these other people. It might be. I mean, maybe you just like it's like the zombie apocalypse and you're just like surrounded by monsters. Or I mean, you know what I mean? Or and some people might even say, well, okay, well, why is that even important? We're gonna answer that for you too. Being courteous is important to role model for your children. Please, oh Lord, remember that there are serious consequences that come with, not having these interpersonal skills. You don't want your children to befall them.
I'm going to take it a little further. It's just important to role model for everybody. If we're saying nobody got it, all right,
everybody
then
needs
you be the catalyst.
Yeah.
You be the one.
You just be the one who does it.
You go on ahead and you show. I think where this gets tricky is we're always upset when someone else doesn't show it to us. So then we respond by being discourteous. Somebody got to put the stick in the wheel. Somebody got to stop this from rolling and just, okay, I'm going to show you what it looks like to be courteous because I want someone somewhere to do, even if it's not going to be you, I want somebody somewhere. And maybe this is going to be a ripple effect. The stranger that's watching this interaction today, maybe is going to pick up something from what I am about to do. Somebody's got to be the first person.
Yep.
You just got to kind of
decide. Whenever we do things like this, every time we do a principle, this has been my most fun, actually, to be honest with you. I've been trying this out, just being like exceedingly kind. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about on the airplane, ma'am, I'll put your bag up. When I tell you I am going to change my life and live like this for the rest of not that I was horrifically unkind, hopefully, but really like looking for places to be kind, looking for places to be like, sir, please go ahead. Absolutely. But you know what? I'm going to hold this seat because I see other people going to get it, but you need it. Come on and get it. That has just been delivering me. I'm not kidding. I have been just delivered from it in these past weeks of just kind of working on that. It really does. Like what you're saying is so true. It
And it
sparks
delivers
off just
the other
a
people.
ripple effect.
It really does deliver the other people. I'm sitting here looking at a whole big, beautiful bouquet of poinsettias that was just gifted to me by a random stranger. Someone in my neighborhood said, "Hey, I have this plant. I'm terrible with plants. I'm going to kill it. Does somebody want it?" And I was like, "Ooh, I want it." And she came over. She brought it in the house. She also brought me sugar cookies. I mean, it was just so. Now we have exchanged numbers and we are going out to get tequila together.
Oh,
Now I have a friend. Yesterday I was driving out, and this is a woman I probably would never choose on my own. She's got to be younger than me. She has a 5-month-old baby. I've never seen her. She lives on a street that's kind of far away from mine. And yesterday I was driving out. I saw her walking with her baby. It was cold. And I just pulled up alongside her. I said, "Margot," and she was like, "Hi, new friend." And we just started a whole conversation. She was like, "Girl, I went to a speakeasy. I was thinking maybe that was where we could go get tequila, but no, I think I want us to do something a little somewhere else more fun." I was like, "Margot." Listen, and I would have never, it was just from the kindness of just saying, "You know what? I've got this plant. I just want to give it away." We just never know.
You never know.
The ways that we bless other people. So another reason that we should be courteous, it is correlated with professional success. It increases the chance of a second interview or being considered for promotion. This is probably very true.
Like if you come in, obviously you want to be qualified for a job, not in an interview. But if you make eye contact and smile genuinely, and you you say a genuine compliment, you respond appropriately to compliments, you hold the door open, you know what I mean? Like these are things that just stay in the memory of people who are already evaluating you and considering you.
I'm going to say it even goes further than just professional success, how well you perform in school. I remember I was meticulous about my grade book. I kept those numbers down to the 100th place. But if it came to like they just needed a couple more points to bump them up, I would consider their character. I would consider how hard they work.
Absolutely.
And how, those kinds of things. Now, I'm not going to
teachers
give you
are
an A when you got a C.
Let's see. Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
That grade is 89 point something.
I'm telling you.
Let me tell you how that gets rounded up
I'm just
by somebody who comes in here with this character.
It's true. And
It's
so
absolutely true.
That's going to carry you through for when you are in the workplace also. If it comes down to you and someone else who you're equally qualified for this, and you're the one who was always like, "Hey, Rebecca, I'm stopping at Starbucks. You want me to just grab you something real quick?" If it comes down to that or the grouch.
Right. Versus the one who keeps turning the heat down to 62, even though you're like, "I'm really, really cold." I don't care.
Even if the grouch may stay a little later and so yes, but it's because of how pleasant the other person is.
Listen,
I want to work with them.
I want to be in community with kindness. I'll take even a little less confidence, to be honest with you. for the kindness.
Yeah.
And I think in our society we might kind of press the opposite. You know what I mean? It's kind of, achievement at all costs, even if you have to like be treacherous. But we're trying to shift that narrative.
Yeah.
Right? Being courteous assists in resolving conflict. If you're in conflict at work, if you're in conflict in relationships and whatnot, I don't see how people try to address conflict by being conflictual. That's always a strange thing to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to start off.
I guess I'll sit here and work this out with you.
So, what the hell is wrong with you? So, how could that be? God. How could that initiation of a topic, how could that be something that you thought was going to end up resolving the conflict?
Yeah. It's just healing. It really is. Just being kind is just, I cannot explain to you the ways that kindness just blesses me. Even if you're the grouch, and someone else is kind to you, it makes you start to rethink like,
why am I just so extra right now?
Why am I in this space?
Why am I so extra?
I don't have to do all
and
that.
Here's this person just being kind.
Yeah. So what are some courtesy basics everyone should know? The ABCs.
Yes. Of common courtesies, right? This is like you can hear your mama talking. Speak when spoken to. Now, neither of us are born and raised in the South. We live here in the deep South now. But that was something very noticeable when I first came to school. It was like people just on the street just speaking. It was almost, it just was jarring. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, hi, how you doing? What's up? Hi, going on. I mean, I was like, whoa, 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 hello. And I decided I like it. But especially if someone speaks to you first, the notion that I would not speak to a person who said something to me, I can't imagine. If Beelzebub said something, I'd be like, well, hello, Beelzebub. Lucifer, I would make some different choices, but I am at least going to speak because that's just.
I might wave.
I'm going to. Hi. I don't want.
Acknowledge you.
I don't want what you're doing.
Acknowledge.
But I mean, just. Yeah. And I mean, folks, I can't wrap my mind. But you know how I feel about like silent treatments and stuff, just in general. I feel like that's so assaultive. It's emotionally damaging, I think, to kind of just be like, I'm not speaking. But so in a small way, it is discourteous, I think, to not speak to someone when you're spoken to. And then sometimes you just speak first. Come in the room and how you doing?
Yeah.
You can change the timbre really of the room sometimes by doing that.
Yeah.
If you just come in, it's a little tense. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Yeah. Sometimes even just that. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes just that can just break it, kind of break that ice. It's remember, we are looking to not just do this for ourselves. We're looking for it to put joy in the world and have a kinder society. And somebody just has to go first.
Yeah. Be respectful of others in public. So use your headphones in public. Ooh, I can't tell. I cannot tell. The way that people will scroll through TikTok
and let every
without headphones on, and I'd be like,
blast.
Like,
just blasting. Somebody has their child right here, and you just have full sexual whatever things on there. And again, we're not trying to censor people and not say what you do. It's just not courteous.
Yeah.
You can't wait. You're in that much of a sexual repression. I must watch this video next to this child. Red flag.
You but are having an argument with somebody
right
and you. I said, and I can hear what they're saying. You're screaming
here in this wherever we are.
This one is always so funny to me when you put the phone when you
and you're going off on the phone.
I don't understand why.
I wish a bitch would. I wish a bitch would. I wish a bitch would be a little quieter. I mean, just. Me too.
Yeah, it's a lot, y'all. It's a lot.
I mean, my goodness. And again, we're not trying to you know what I'm saying? I know people people
we're not trying to keep you from
trying to be
your
free
joy,
and free
right?
and your joy and things like that.
Considerate.
It's just common courtesy.
Yeah.
I'm in a small space. Just hold on for a second. I'm gonna call you right back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm behind you in the wing line. It's taking you forever because you go on the phone. Decide on this 22 flavors. This is Atlanta. There's 50,000 flavors. Do I want hot honey, garlic, lemon pepper, dry rub? So because that sounds delicious. Though,
Jesus.
That sounds good, though.
Can we go get some?
Can we get some hot honey right there? Hot honey, garlic, lemon pepper. Write it down. You know you're gonna see a Wingstop guy. Dry rub honey with the blue cheese. But you said, I mean, it's not the time to have this 2-hour conversation while somebody's waiting behind you. Right? It's just
not the time. God, it's not the time. No.
Please.
Well, which goes into the next one. Say please and thank you to everyone.
That sounds so simple.
Say please and thank you. If I am in the aisle at the grocery store and I am in your way and you need me to move, just say, ma'am, please, can I just get by you? Yes, of course. I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
That you see how that works? As opposed to I'm in your way, you come and you move my cart.
Oh my God.
How did
we're just in Publix having a moment?
And my hand was on it.
Right.
Like, what?
I mean, you completely unsettled my little,
and y'all,
keto ice cream that
you don't know what kind of day people have had.
Yep.
The
don't know what they're gonna match you with.
Slight. You never know how that's going to be met, but kindness is never going to be met with something. I remember one day I was driving. I was in New York City. I was in Harlem, and I was driving. There was a man in a wheelchair. I must have not seen him because he was lower, and I somehow cut him off from maybe he was about to cross the street. I don't know what I did, but he starts cussing me out. I mean, and rightfully so.
From the
But listen, he is angry because I have almost cut it. I get it. And I said, I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry. He continues to cuss me out. And so finally I just said, but sir, I don't want this to ruin your whole day. I said, I'm sorry. How can I make this better to you? And he said to me, he paused, he said, you know what, you're right. I'm taking it too far.
That's real good.
He said, I'm taking it too far.
That's good clarity. But listen, he's saving himself a heart attack later.
I'm telling you.
It's not even just for you. That's for him. His whole day could have been ruined all day long. This bitch cuts me out. You know what I'm saying? That's what's wrong with people these days. Just the whole day.
You think I can't use these legs?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it just... I'm sorry. Okay, back to our regular schedule.
You took it too far. You gotta say exactly what he said. I'm sorry. I took it too far.
I took it. Bring it back. I'm trying.
Just reel that back on him.
All right.
That's good. Oh,
yes.
That does bring us to the next one.
Brings us right on to the next one.
Apologize when you've hurt someone, and we're
We
actually
are
going to
doing
do
a whole
listen
episode.
I have my
on
students do it. This is such a powerful practice because I argue that very few of us have ever really meaningfully apologized. Honestly, we've given justifications. We
when we get into that episode, y'all gonna start feeling like, ooh, that sounds like me.
Have I ever? Right? Am I a psychopath? No, we want to unpsychopath you. That's what we're gonna do. Right? But yeah, if you've hurt someone, just apologize. Like, don't overthink it. Don't be like, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. My bad. This is my choice.
I don't think people realize how freeing it is to just say, I'm sorry, my bad. We'll carry a thing so far because the apology was never uttered. And so now my feelings of resentment are building up.
Tense
and you're trying to figure out what I do. And just, if you had just, my bad, I was out of pocket for that. We move on. Now we have to get into such a deeper apology because this time has because you've done everything but apologize. Child, just say I'm sorry and keep it pushing.
And just keep it moving.
Communicate when plans change.
This is like the hot topic on the dating things and stuff a lot of times too. People are talking about like, if something's different is happening, why don't we just say so? I'm gonna take it to a granular level. Granular.
If we are, let's say we are hanging out. Let's say we got together. We said we were gonna do something Friday night. We said we were gonna go to the movies. Okay. Let's say we are standing in the movie line. We had said that we were going to see Hunger Games. And now we are at the line, and you have ordered 2 tickets to see Color Purple. It's a very different night we're about to have. But now I'm outraged because
I'd have dressed for Color Purple. I was prepared for Color Purple.
We're going to see Color Purple.
I wore the little pin for Hunger Games. I did not wear for Color Purple.
I'm out here whistling at people. And I should be
I should have brought my tissue box. It's
you didn't prepare me.
It's a different evening.
Because you had a whole conversation in your head that something was about to shift. Say that to me, please. I was thinking maybe we could go see Color Purple. Okay. Or not. I really want to see Hunger Games.
But at least they know. At least you know. Don't bring another person. When you're going to go somewhere with just it's going to be just the two of us, and you just show up with someone else without telling them. I mean, this is just courtesy, y'all. It's not asking permission to be. Like, we're not trying to say don't be free, right? But we're trying to say, we're not talking about clocking and being in control of another person. We're just saying announce those things so that somebody knows how to plan it, and then they know what to do next because they know what's
know how to
happening
move,
next.
yeah.
You know, I decided to go this, or I thought we could do this. Then people can work around that.
You take away people's agency when you, and also it makes them feel like they're not being considered. You know,
Controlled.
yeah, yeah. This is a
Say, excuse me.
excuse me. What's your name? Oh, so hot to try.
When letting out some gas or getting past, when you know you've been eating those greens still from Thanksgiving, because in your mind you thought I'd freeze them and I could just pull them back there and eat them. Do you know how your gas smells? Say, excuse me.
When you're fresh from surgery and it leaves you with large spaces that create the most hideous gas.
Cavernous. It's just pushing out the cleansing.
To the point that you have to text your best friend in the middle of the night and say, yep.
I'm about to blow myself right off through the roof. Do you have a
Excuse me.
parachute?
Excuse me.
If I get too high, it's like a jetpack.
We have gone so far.
You gotta say, excuse me.
We're saying, excuse me,
Yeah.
when you slide past someone. I was once
You
walking
bump into
through
somebody.
Harlem. I have body dysmorphia in the sense that I think I'm much smaller than I really am. I think that I can fit in the smallest of spaces, and I'm like, why can't I? That's my whole ass that's back there.
This is rubbing across somebody's face.
I want you to know.
You're
I mean,
very
it happens
sexy, and I thought about having your cheek on my face. To be honest with you, I thought about it,
all the
but
time.
not really here at this restaurant where
I'm telling you, I am telling you, it happens all. So
I did think
just
about it, but it's not
bumped
here.
into this man, thinking I had such a wide space to get through, and I just kept, because it's Harlem, and everybody just kind of moved, said nothing. It's one of my favorite stories, and it's that man said, "Damn, ma, and you all big and shit."
That was discourteous, Harlem
He was
man.
being discourteous.
He was being discourteous.
I was discourteous first. I turned around and I said, "Sir, you right."
That was really nice of you.
You right. I'm sorry. I am.
You didn't
sorry.
turn out to be
I
like,
didn't
first of all,
realize-
you should have paid for this. You owe me about $10.
But here's the thing. He turned around and he said to me, he said, I didn't have to be rude like that. He said, "Ma, you're beautiful." I didn't even turn around and look at you.
I said, dang.
Because you all big and shit. I am all big and shit.
Thanks for the commentary. Both of y'all was discourteous.
This ass
Everybody
is all
was
big and
discourteous.
shit.
Your behind being that size is discourteous to the people.
Listen, it be all over people.
But
I'm
in a
so
good
sorry.
way.
Well, some people like it, but we're not going to talk. That's a very different. Tune in when we talk about adding joy to sex, huh? So moving
When's
on.
that one?
Soon.
But yes, when
Soon
even
come.
if you did not mean it, I think that's what we think. We think that intention is the base of excuse me's and apologies. That's not what it is. It's actually the behavior, right? So the consequence, it's the thing you caused, you have to apologize for, not your intention. Of course, I didn't assume you bumped
That's
into me
so
on
good
purpose.
when we talk about apologies.
Yeah,
That's,
we kind of just assume that intention is the issue. The intention is not the issue. Just when you don't apologize for the thing, now I can't get past the fact that you didn't find it important enough to give me a little bit of courtesy in the midst of it.
yeah. This next one, respect people's privacy. This goes back to minding the business that pays you. I always feel so bad when I think about like people who are famous that have to like
I know.
grieve publicly.
Lose their marriage, be in a custody
all kinds
battle,
of
and
they have to
everybody's up
read
in
about
it.
it every day.
Mhm.
I really think it's so beyond an invasion of privacy. We're just being mean to humanity. Like, just put yourself in their shoes and consider it's hard enough to do it as is. Once we've started, I mean, the paparazzi is just following you relentlessly. Then you've got to see the article everywhere you go. Every time you enter a room, you're unsure of yourself because you know Everybody has
Everyone
read
knows.
about this. It's just, don't do that to people. Respect and honor people's privacy. And if you are curious about something, if you have genuinely good intentions, then ask people first. Do you mind? Am I prying? I had a brother come up to me this week and said, I had, after my surgery, I posted a picture and said to all of you reaching out, thank you so much. And that's how he found out I was having surgery. And he said, I'm not trying to pry, but you put it on the social, so I'm going to ask. I said, go ahead and ask. And we had a conversation about it. And he said, I didn't want to call you up. I didn't want to interrupt your, but I want to know you're okay. Thank you, brother. Thank you for positing it that way. Thank you for stopping me and thinking enough of me. But yes, respect people's privacy still. If I didn't broach the topic with you, you got to kind of tread lightly,
And in this day and age, unfortunately, this is like kind of fresh. It's happening. It just happened recently here and in another city in the United States, where very young people committing suicide because of just business being told online. We some seasoned saints. So when something happened to us when we were in grade school, if at most it was going to get around to a school building. But now the people's privacy violations, it just could just be global.
Social
it could just
media,
literally, you're taking someone's embarrassment, their personal information, what's happening with their parents, whatever it is, whatever mistakes they've made or not, and making it just for widespread consumption. We just have to be careful about that. Be careful about being in an online battle and then clicking on their page because you just want to win, and then you're bringing up all the stuff you see, and then, gosh, is that fighting fair? That person,
It's
you know what I mean? You
cruel.
disagree
It's
over
just
this
cruel.
song.
Yeah.
Let's leave it at that. You don't have to click on their profile picture and go after everything. You know what I mean? That's just, y'all, that's not courteous.
Yeah. Respect people's privacy.
That's not
a good
courteous.
one. Yeah.
All right. So we also have a couple of other tips about just thinking about how your behavior might harm or inconvenience another. That's part of our the definition for kindness and courtesy. What are some things that we should think about? Just like small behaviors.
Push your chair in when rising from a table if people need to walk past. That's I just think etiquette itself has just fallen by the wayside. I just think they're just basic things that people, who just leaves a chair in the middle of, but I guess it happens.
We were out the other night. I didn't point it out to her because I was like, what I'm saying? I thought maybe that would be discourteous. But somebody near us was not letting another person walk past. She was just like, I'm just not going to move for you. And I was like, why are you doing that? I just like, what kind of world are we living in that you just, she was just like, no, she's just going to have to walk around. It was such a very small.
Oh, no.
And you know who had to walk around? I was like, I kept saying, that's my friend's mother. That's my joke. And bro was like, look at his mama. And bro kept saying, look at his mom partying and having a good time. Remember I kept saying that.
His auntie.
His auntie. Look at your auntie. To coming down here and be a part of.
Somebody did that night?
To her. Mm-hmm.
To her?
Yes. Because listen, she was sweet.
And she was such a sweetie pie.
She looked kind of confused, like, I'm not allowed. You're not going to just.
She was a lovely woman.
Lovely. It was no reason. It was just seemed so mean-spirited. Like, I was like, wow, we have really gotten to this place where it's like, nope, I'm so do my own thing. I keep it 100. I'm greedy. I'm whatever people think they are doing. That just being disrespectful is cute
like
to
that.
you.
Oh.
That's
this also makes me think of, now I do not feel like, gentlemen, I don't feel you have to do this. And I'll explain why. Putting the toilet seat down. Here's my thing. Who doesn't look at the toilet seat when they go into the bathroom to decide if, and here's the thing, wouldn't it be an inconvenience for men to have to lift it? So either way, I don't feel like you have to. But what you definitely should not do is like the woman when I was getting my nails done the other day, came out of the bathroom before she used it. Men, we like when you put the seat down. Ma'am, this isn't your establishment.
Wait, what?
She went
was a person who did not own the nail shop?
Did not own it. She went in to the bathroom. She saw the seat up. She came out to chastise The owners of the establishment,
Who might have been dumping materials down there. It's a nail shop, so it may not even been.
we
using
don't
the
know
bathroom.
what was happening. We
Might have
don't,
been some-
whatever
literally,
the
you know.
case.
Pouring out something.
And she came out to like chide them
tell
about this. And I was like, man, that's not the courteous way to handle that.
Not the courteous way to handle that.
That's the thing. How are you going to meet somebody being discourteous to you
With discourtesy?
Okay. That's all. I'm
Those
just
are
trying to-
funny. All right. Cover your cough. These are kind of
Folding
like basic
I'm
stuff.
bad with this. I need to do
What's
this.
bad is people on these airplanes.
That I never do. I typically do this. I go.
Just
I go
put it
in-
somewhere. I mean,
Yeah.
put it somewhere. You just
No, it is going somewhere out there.
out there landing in your nostrils. Oh, you had the flu shot. Come on, people.
Ooh, this is a good one. Consider whether your critique. Hear this word. Consider whether your critique needs to be said.
And if it does need to be said, say it. We're not saying don't.
Let's talk about times when it needs to be said. Someone asked you.
Need to be.
Someone said, please
It
give me some
saves
feedback on
a
this.
life.
It saves a life.
It might save, because I don't mind a little intervention. If you see I'm about to do something that's going to be dangerous to me, take me 2 hours rather than, I'm going the wrong way. Please let me know what's going on. You telling me that the marshmallow topping on my thing is a little fattening and I might need to watch out. Uh-oh.
You coming to my house,
business.
opening up my refrigerator and telling me the effective ways to put my groceries inside of it.
I wonder if I asked? I wonder if I said.
We're in my house.
I'd love to find
You didn't
out.
even have to. You opened my refrigerator.
About you. That could have been a secret that we kept forever. You could have helped you could have stayed in where the guests stay and not have opened my refrigerator. And then you would have saved yourself the horror and the trauma of seeing how I kept my groceries. Yeah. Really. And again, this is not just for that person. It's for you too. It's for you too.
So you don't get hit in the mouth.
Well, not to be hit in the mouth. One.
We hope you don't. Listen.
That part.
We don't typically hang with people who would hit you in the mouth.
But we
Some
never
of y'all
know.
do. Some of y'all do, and some
also
of y'all
you
are
don't
going
know
to say, "Well,
You don't know who.
And some of y'all are
Some
going to
of
say
you-
the wrong thing one
To
day.
the wrong person. Yeah. But also, now we have introduced a place of, we didn't need to. We don't always have to offer everything that comes into our minds. You would put your furniture differently. Wonderful. When at your house, have it that way. Have it that way. I think sometimes when people even announce certain things, if you see me eating whatever, I'm eating chicken. I'm vegetarian because chicken does such and such and such and such. I want to thank you for your critique on this Popeye.
And you know why I think a lot of people do that too is
Why?
you're just centering yourself. At this moment in time,
Yeah,
you
I
felt
just
the
want it to be
need
about
to
me.
center yourself, your thoughts,
Which
your
isn't-
ideas.
Isn't kind.
You need so much attention at this moment that you thought you needed to give this to me so we could shift everything to you.
When it actually, and I'm not opposed to people getting the attention they need. I believe that is a human need. I actually think people could just come by it honestly. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't critique and things like that. I mean, speak about something. Like when the
You could be as
time
basic
comes,
as, "Ooh, look at me."
Yeah. I just, what? Wait till an appropriate moment and be like, I wanted to share something that happened that was awesome to me today.
But we take the
It's such a
opportunity.
tactful way to do it.
We take the opportunity to do that always at others' expense. You don't have to do
we don't
that.
have to do that.
Like, I don't have to break
There's
anybody
enough
down
space
for that.
and attention
Yeah.
for everybody.
Yeah.
We don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Right? Use discernment and tact more frequently. that's just
Jesus.
an ongoing. Is it the right time? Are these the right words? Is this the right audience? Discernment means
Does
literally
this need to be
Yes.
said?
But I'm being intentional about my words and behaviors, not just willy-nilly, just carelessly talking and carrying on, right? Discernment really does mean I am going to pause for a second and be like, does this have to be said? And then if it does, how can it be? Because what am I trying to gain? I want the person to grow. I want us to get to another place.
What is my intended outcome
outcome
here?
So how can I get to that outcome with as little
With peace
pain as possible?
And joy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But that means frequent, like this has to be
You
a
have to
part of your
practice it. Yeah,
regular.
yeah.
How can I say it tactfully? People are kind of proud of lacking tact.
Well,
these
that's just
days.
me. That's
I
just
just
who
keep
I
it real.
am.
You know what I'm saying? I am just insert whatever.
You just
zodiac
hurt people's
sign.
feelings.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Ooh,
no,
I
you're
hate
just
that.
a
I'm a
meanie.
Virgo. So you
You're
know
a
this is what we do.
meanie.
What?
Yeah.
Virgos are rude?
I know plenty of Virgos that can speak to people
Get out of here.
with some discernment. Yeah, it takes. There's an energy that it takes, but it is. I mean, I think it's an intellectual skill, also too. But I think you press yourself to do that because we want to live in a civilized society.
Yeah. I just think there's something about putting forth the effort and not just being careless with your words and your actions. And that's ultimately what being kindness is about, what being kind is about. If we go back to the original definition, I mean, it is about thinking and behaving in a friendly, respectful manner that conveys compassion and avoids causing hurt or inconvenience to yourself or others.
Right.
That's what it's all about. So, on that note,
Joy John, kindness stories.
Joy John, kindness stories.
You always have to hum after things like that. You never didn't hum. Like Good Times, all of those ended in a little hum. You know, the Jeffersons, everybody, all of those little intros, there was a little just, we could go on and on.
We could go on and on. Yes. All right.
Sha-la-la-la.
I had been watching some. You talk about a kind family.
Oh my God!
You talk about a kind family.
You know, they tried to make them kind of. I got what they were saying, like liberal, Democrat, hippies, but I mean, they were so.
They were kind to each other. I remember I watched an episode not too long ago.
It was a family of kindness.
Alex was turning 18, and so he thought, "I'm 18. I'm grown. I'm." You know, Alex always thought he was an adult. Anyway, he thought he was like a Republican. He was just, I'm going to carry my briefcase. And so he went out with his boys far away. I mean, he drove far away or something. And I want to say Elise had asked him to, I don't know, do something before he left. And he was basically like, I'm 18. I ain't got to. And Elise drove to where him and his friends were and was like, but didn't I tell you? And he was like, Mom, you're embarrassing me. When they get back to the house, he's saying, Mom, you embarrassed me in front of my friends. And Elise, I was like, we could learn something from these Keatons. Elise was like, maybe I did embarrass you, and I am sorry for that. I should not have done that. But I want to know that when I ask my child to do something, he's just going to do it no matter what age he is. And then they did the hug and just, I love you. And
it was just.
It was amazing. But yes, so we've got Joy John Nancy from NYC. She said, one of the teachers at my school left early this school year. She was nice. I waited a few weeks to send her a gift in the mail. I sent her a nice note along with her favorite cookie. Let me tell you something about.
She was so glad to get that.
Nancy is one of the most genuinely kind people. She was a secretary at one of the schools that I worked at many, many moons ago. And you talk about somebody who always greeted you with a smile. Hey, Ladybug. And just, it would set your day off. And so I know she did this right here. She's just always a kind person.
Cookie. How thoughtful.
Here's the thing. One, you had to know what the favorite cookie is. You had to commit that to memory. You had to think them important enough to receive that favorite cookie. And then you had to go through the act of sending it to, finding where they are, where they've left and gone to, and sending them that cookie. That kind of kindness we don't see enough of. I want more of that. More of that.
That reminds me. Do I have time to tell a story?
Yeah.
Okay, this is my own. It's funny, but it's a kindness story. When you said we need more of that. So after we were at a Spelman Moms event. But by the time you see this, it will have been passed. So after we leave this Spellman Moms event, I go to Publix to do a little grocery shopping on the way back home.
After that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to, I gotta do my meal prepping.
Ooh, you
Shout
are
out,
all
Coach K.
good for you. I went home and crashed. Okay.
I knew I just had like a week of Domino's and Popeyes if I didn't. I've just been showing out. So I go to Publix. I'm walking in, and there is a woman. She looked like she might have been like in her upper 50s, maybe around 60, right? I see her in my peripheral. Now, this all happens in a split second. She's pushing her cart, and then these two people come up on the side of her, a man on her left side and a woman on her right side. And it looks like they're trying to like just take the cart from her or something. She looks terrified. I turn and it looks terrified. I don't remember doing this. I'm told I pushed my cart out of the way. And I know I definitely went over to her, right? So in that split second, she turns and she's like, girl, stop playing with me. I thought you were coming. And so we all start laughing, right? So, but the woman who came up next to her is her younger sister. And the other man was her husband, right? And the man was like, no, hold on. You were in fight mode when you came over here. Give it to me, sis. All three of them hugged me dearly. They let me skip in the little public sandwich line. They were
now that's saying something. That's a long line.
They let me have the non-braided wings. It was the last ones. Listen, she sure did. And then even the man who worked at Publix and everybody, and people were just like good looking out. They were like, we need to get back to that. They were like, you were ready to just throw them. And in that split second, I was like, and I told her, I said, now, quite frankly, sis, I was going to fight with you. I was terrified though. She was like, weren't you afraid? I was like, yes, because I figured I was like, she's going to have to take the woman. I'm going to have to fight this grown man in this public. I thought all of that in that moment, you know what I'm saying? And the man who worked there was like, no, I had you, I saw it and I was going, he was just at a distance. And he was like, but you literally squared up. You pushed that cart out the way. I don't remember doing that. I remember turning, but they were like, no, you squared up. You were literally ready to get into a fight. Cause I guess I said to myself, she's not going to fight them alone. This is an older woman. She's just nope. Not in this Christmas season. You are not going to do this to this woman while I'm standing right here. Now, I might lose the fight. Right. And I remember thinking, I just really want to get home to my daughter. Please don't let this end tragically. But I didn't. I was like, you're not going to fight alone. Let's go. Yeah. And that's what made me think of that. But everybody in the store was like, we have to get back to this. Yeah. What happened to people just caring? Now, I'm not saying that you should jump into a fight if you don't fight them. I'm not saying that you necessarily do that. No, but like,
we're all
what
part
happened
of
to
a
not
larger
ignoring?
community,
Right. People just would ignore. A lot of people would just be like, ooh, she's in trouble. Right. And just tried to get
their
away
phones and gotten ready
filmed
to
her getting attacked
it.
or whatever was happening to her. Like we what happened to us living together in a society so that people should be afraid to come after people in broad daylight because you know that somebody's going to care.
Consequences to this,
But like things happen in broad daylight because people believe no one cares and they're right. Yeah. We don't want that to be the society we live in. I mean, we're humans. I'm glad that fight didn't happen though. I promise you, I don't remember squaring. She was like, sis, come here. She was like, because you were down for my sister. She said it again. And I was like, when I saw her in the aisle, she was like, you're a real one. And we got to get back to that. I was like, I'm really glad I didn't have to because I really was scared. Weren't you scared? Yes. What? I was terrified. I wouldn't fight this man at Publix. But I would have. I was going to.
Well. Here's to not having
I'm so glad that they were just joking with her.
And on that note,
amen. Turn on the light and let me on the road.
Going on my way. Shine on me. Whoa, shine. Shine on me.
Come on and shine. Hey, hey, hey.